Is the big man Joel Embiid returning soon for the Philadelphia 76ers? Let's get into it here on 76ers Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out here with us. Nick Nurse providing a new update on Embiid's recovery from that knee injury, and the arrow might be pointing up. First, we have a March subscriber battle going on between 76ers Now, the great channel, and Boston Celtics Today, the channel that I despise. Let's beat them now and then in the playoffs, and hopefully if we do that, that's a sign of things to come because we have to reverse the bad fortune of this rivalry. You want Sixers content every day, pretty much at this point, year-round as well? Lock us in, subscribe to the channel. Here's what Nick Nurse had to say about Joel Embiid. We have always said that we hope he's going to get back to play. He is on the court. I'm not. I don't want to say daily, but almost every day now, where he's on the court doing basketball things. All the checkups have been positive. He's kind of in the ramp-up phase now. Like, what can he handle? When can he start having contact? And when can he start playing one-on-one? When can he start playing 5-on-5? When can he go through a practice with contact? And then we'll be really close. And there are always words and terms, and there's medical jargon thrown out there that sometimes doesn't mean anything. Sometimes, though, it means something, and sometimes it's important. The ramp-up phase, let's focus on that and the phrasing of it. That's kind of a big deal because that means Embiid is feeling pretty good. He's returned to practice. He's starting to amp up the workload a little bit. And you look at the time frame here. It's March 21st. If he could come back at some point, second week of April, let's say, then Philadelphia as a basketball collective unit is in a much better position, obviously, if they have Embiid, but it gives him some time to get into shape, to get into game flow for the Sixers with a new-look team because Embiid hasn't played with Kyle Lowry. He hasn't played with Buddy Hield, Cam Payne, some of these new additions to really start to get to know one another on the basketball court. Now, there's this from John Clark, NBC Sports Philadelphia, here on this Thursday, March 21st. Joel Embiid is ramping up his workouts and is on the court almost every day, according to Nick Nurse. I've been told the hope is that Embiid could be back in 2 or 3 weeks. So here we are as I pull up the calendar on this March 21st, Thursday here. 1 week, 28th. Second week is the 4th. 3 weeks from that point is the 11th. 4 weeks would be the 18th. I think having some cushion as far as the time window is really big here. Now, Embiid's original timeline after he got that surgery was 6 to 8 weeks. And you think back to February 6th, and obviously everything for the Sixers has been downhill since that point. He undergoes surgery. 6 weeks out is March 19th, okay? 8 weeks out is April 2nd. So I don't think he's going to meet that type of time frame of April 2nd, but that's fine because the start of the play-in tournament is the 16th. Can he get some games under his belt at some point before that play-in tournament? Or can the Sixers somehow avoid the play-in tournament altogether so that Embiid doesn't have to worry about coming back for that, which then gives him more time to either get in shape, heal up, recover, and get primed, locked, and ready to go for the NBA playoffs? Will Joel Embiid return before the end of the year? Big question here. And we've been posing this question over the last couple of weeks here on the show. Why for yes and for no? More to get to. You're going to hear from producer Chip here in a moment. But first, today's Philadelphia 76ers Now is sponsored by Factor Meals. Get 50% off when you use the code SixersChat50 at factormeals.com/SixersChat50. Eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just a couple of minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. I have some meals in my fridge right now. Think about it. They seem pretty damn good. I'm starting to salivate a little bit. Also, there are more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals. 2-minute meals. You can fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant-quality meals that are ready to eat and eat whenever. Pancakes, smoothies, more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, midday bites, they got you. No prep, no mess meals. They're awesome. Baby. Factormeals.com/SixersChat50. We'll put that link down in the comment section and in the description of this video. Unfortunately for the Sixers, the playoff picture isn't all that good. It's a little bit bleak right now after that loss to the Phoenix Suns, in which the Sixers had that cold spell shooting in the second and third quarter, and then Tyrese Maxey was just ice cold from the floor all throughout that game. And now Philadelphia back in the NBA play-in tournament if the season were to end. Of course, as we've continued to talk about, they kind of control their own destiny here. Bad news is Knicks, Magic distancing themselves a little bit here down the stretch. They have a 3-game lead in the win column, but the Pacers are there, 39-31, Philadelphia 38-31. What you really want to do, just avoid the play-in tournament. Get that 6 seed. I'm not sure the 4 or the 5 is all that realistic. You can kiss goodbye to the 3 seed there because you're not going to make up 5 games on the Cleveland Cavaliers from here on out. More bad news for Philadelphia. Hey, we gave you some good news with the Joel Embiid injury update. It's that the schedule coming up for Philly over the next 5, not easy, especially when you're shorthanded. Lakers, Clippers, Kings, all on the road as part of this West Coast roadie. And then you come back home, future Sixer Paul George at home, Wells Fargo Center on the 27th, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers on the 29th. You go back on the road for that game after that short little trip home to Philadelphia. And what's the theme with all these teams? They're good. They're above 500. The Kings have really started to get it together here over the last couple of weeks. You need to find a way to just steal a couple of those games. But stealing games against upper echelon teams, that's difficult. And if Embiid returns in early April, that's when the schedule isn't too bad. So you get what I'm doing as the host here. I'm building up all these talking points. Yeah, some bad, but some positivity. And if Embiid comes back at some point in early April, look at what he can come back against. Nets, bad. Thunder, very good. Heat, you can beat them. Just showed that the other night. Really impressive win. Raptors, Cavaliers, Hawks. Here's the thing, if Embiid comes back, I don't really worry about a playoff series with Cleveland if you have Joel Embiid. Going up against the New York Knicks, a lot easier when you have the likes of Joel Embiid. As for the Miami Heat and their next 5 games, because Philadelphia is really jockeying right now with Miami, they got the Pelicans, the Cavaliers, the Warriors, the Trailblazers, and the Washington Wizards, 11-58 up to this point. How did Bradley Beal not get out of there a little bit earlier? But this sector of teams, pretty good. Last 2 teams, not good. Pacers next 5 games. You're rooting for the Heat to lose. You're rooting for the Pacers to lose, as Nick Roloff would say. On the road against the Warriors. On the road against the Lakers. On the road against the Clippers. So they have that West Coast road trip. Then they go Midwest, Chicago Bulls, Los Angeles Lakers there on the 29th to basically round out the month of March. Now, how do the Sixers match up against the Heat or Pacers in a potential NBA play-in tournament game? Chip, 2 very different styles for the Heat and the Pacers going up against Philadelphia.
Yeah, very, very different styles. And, the Pacers, they're going to get up and down. They're going to score a bunch of points. And the three-point shooting's actually been a little bit worse since they traded away Buddy Hield. Thank you for that, by the way. Whereas the Miami Heat, slow it down, grind it out. They're the team with the playoff experience. Obviously went to the finals last year. It's looking more and more likely the Sixers are going to end up having to play one of those 2 teams in the play-in. Which team would I rather play? I'd probably say the Pacers just because I feel like they don't really have a guy. The Heat have Bam, Jimmy's experience. The Pacers are less experienced, right? Miles Turner, I don't think, is guarding Joel Embiid. Either way, I don't love, because the Pacers play so fast, if Embiid's coming off that injury, we're just running him up and down the court.
pace.
And then for the Heat, they could just bully him. So they each worry me a little bit in different ways. But, if he's 90, 95% Embiid is of what he was before the injury, I think they can handle either squad, but they're both going to be tough games.
Yeah, it's like Heat will slow the game down. They're going to play with brute physicality and force. They're going to double-team Joel Embiid because he knows he's the go-to, right? And they're going to try to wear him down from a stamina standpoint. Heat culture, all about being in great shape. Jimmy Butler, always in peak conditioning, right? So they're going to slow it down. They're going to try to muddy games up, and they're going to make you win it in a back alley brawl in the trenches. Indiana Pacers, they want to run and gun. And when you're doing that over the course of a playoff series, can be difficult with Embiid, who, when playoff time comes around, sometimes he's not in good shape. And now he's coming off an injury, and he's guaranteed to not be 100% as far as his airflow goes, lung capacity goes, and stamina goes. So who's your ideal first-round opponent for Philadelphia? I want the Cavaliers. That is my first-round matchup because I'm guaranteeing you right now, Sixers, Cavaliers, healthy Embiid first round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Sixers. 10, 9, 8, 76ers. They get the dub.